Hi, I'm Beth from My Tutoring Bee, and in today's video, we're talking about triangular prisms and finding their volume and surface area. I've got a couple examples. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, we've got our formulas over here on the left, the surfaces of a three-dimensional figure, and then also the area formulas as well, because we need those two-dimensional surfaces, because that's actually what we are finding is all of the two-dimensional areas of the faces of these three-dimensional shapes. So let's get into what all of these pieces of the puzzle mean. We have this triangular prism here, and we're being asked to find the lateral and total surface area. Now, I know that it's a triangular prism because we have two faces that are triangles, right? And we have a distance between those two faces, so they don't go up into a point like a pyramid. They are parallel to each other. These two triangles are parallel. Now, they might not seem like bases because they are not on the top and bottom of this shape. Instead, it's like they are standing up on their sides. However, we are still going to consider those triangles as the bases of this three-dimensional shape because it is a triangular prism. So I would argue that this is probably the most difficult shape that we have to find the lateral and total surface area of. The formulas can be very confusing. We are given a lot of information. Triangles, the area of triangles is sometimes a little bit challenging than other shapes. And then we have so many other pieces of the puzzle that are thrown in here. So we're really going to take our time and break this down into step by step how to find the surface area of this three-dimensional shape. So let's go ahead and get started with that with lateral surface area. So our lateral surface area formula is pH. Seems very simple, but what do those letters mean? So P is for perimeter. We want the perimeter of the base. What I teach my students, I work with students, I'm a one-on-one tutor, and what I teach them is that whenever we see a capital letter, that is referring to the two-dimensional base shape. So in this case, because this is a triangular prism, as we talked about before, the triangle is the base, even though that triangle is not on the bottom of this shape. So here we go. Let's take a look at this triangle right here. What are the dimensions of the edges of this triangle? Well, we can see that this one is very clearly labeled 5 meters, but then what are these other two edges? What are their measurements? Well, they are going to be the same as the corresponding measurements from this other triangle over here on this side. So that means this one is 3 and this one is 4. So now we have all of the numbers that we need for the perimeter of this triangle, right? The perimeter is the distance around the outer edge of a shape. So we've got 5 plus 3 plus 4. That's our perimeter of this triangle. Now, H can be very confusing with these formulas because we are used to seeing the height as a two-dimensional shape, as in 1/2 base times height, for example, for the area of a triangle. However, when we are looking at the surface area formulas, we're talking about the height of the three-dimensional shape. So that distance between those two triangles. And so as we can see, it's labeled up here, we have a distance of 7 meters. So the height of this triangular prism is 7 meters. Those could be the two most confusing parts about this formula, even though it really only has seemingly two pieces, but it's a lot more complicated than that. So let's go ahead and calculate. So 5 plus 3 is 8, plus 4 more is 12. And then 12 times 7 is 84. So we have a lateral surface area of 84 meters squared. By the way, I'm getting all of these images of these 3D figures from Kuda software. I'll have a link in the description below. It's a free website that has worksheets for a lot of different math skills. So if you'd like to check that out, that'll be in the link below. All right, before we get into the total surface area, I want to make a net out of this three-dimensional shape. So let me erase all of this, get that out of the way, and I want to make a net so that we can really connect the pieces of the puzzle to this formula and see where this formula comes from. Now, when we are looking for lateral surface area, we are looking for just the sides of this shape. So it might be hard to tell with this shape because that triangle, those two triangles are on the sides. I'm actually going to rotate this picture. There we go. So hopefully maybe that makes it a little bit better visually that that triangle there is the base shape of our triangular prism. And so what we just found with our lateral surface area are the areas of each of these sides. So imagine we're standing in this triangular room and we want to paint all of the walls of this room. So that is what we're talking about with lateral surface area, is just the distance around the sides. So not the ceiling of the room and not the floor of the room, but just the walls of the room. So let's actually create the net that corresponds with this shape. So I'm going to start with this rectangle back here, which is 5 meters wide and 7 meters tall, right? So we're going to make it, I'm going to try to give myself enough room to make sure I have room for the other shapes that are going to be added to this, but this is 7 meters tall and this is going to be 5 meters wide right here. So that represents this rectangle back here. And then we're just going to continue going around the shape with the next wall. So this next wall is still 7 meters tall, but it's only 3 meters wide. So still 7 meters tall, but then it's going to be shorter going this way. So only 3 meters tall going this way, but still 7 tall. And then this other rectangle going around kind of in the front here. This one is still 7 meters tall, but it is 4 meters wide. So a little bit wider than my last one, but not as wide as the first one. So 4 meters right there. Okay, so let's connect that to what we did with our formula here. The perimeter, remember we measured the distance around that triangle, which was 5, 3, and 4. Well, look at our distance here of this one giant rectangle that we made. That is 5 meters plus 3 meters plus 4 meters wide. So that is what gives us that 12 meters in total going all the way across this rectangle. And then we multiply that 12 times 7 because that is the height of this rectangle. So if we can imagine that these lines are gone and this is just one big rectangle, how would we find the area of this rectangle? Well, area equals length times width, or base times height. And now we have a base of 12 and a height of 7. So now we have 84 meters squared for our area for this one. Okay, now let's talk about total surface area. So our total surface area formula is pH plus 2b. So pH plus 2b. That pH, that's the same as what we just found, the perimeter times the height. So we already know that that part is 84 meters. Now, where does this 2b come from? 2b comes from the bases, the area of those triangular bases, right? Whenever we see, again, capital letters, we're talking about the two-dimensional bases of our 3D figure. In this case, the bases are those triangles. And we have 2 of them. That's where the 2 comes from. B, capital B, meaning the area of a triangle. Well, what's the area of a triangle formula? We've got it right here. Area equals 1/2 base times height. So let's look at those 2 bases. I'm going to add them onto my 5 by 7 meter rectangle here. So I'm connecting these triangles here and here to my lateral surface area that I already have. So I've got my 5 meters here, and then the other 2, the legs of these right triangles are 3 meters by 4 meters. So because this next rectangle here is 3 meters, that means this is the 3 meter leg, and then this would have to be the 4 meter leg, and those would be right triangles right there. And so I'm going to do that same thing over here. So this would be 3 and 4. So now we've added on those extra triangles onto our net that we have here. So what are the areas of these 2 triangles? Well, again, our triangle formula is 1/2 base times height. So little b times the height of the triangle. So our base and height, remember when we are finding the area of a triangle, we are always looking for those two perpendicular lines. So because this is a right triangle, those legs of the right triangle, so the 4 meters and the 3 meters. So we're going to multiply 3 times 4 here for the area of those triangles. And we've got 2 of them. So that's where the 2 comes from outside of here. So let's go ahead and calculate that. 3 times 4 is 12. Half of 12 is 6. And then 6 times 2 will go back to 12, which makes sense because if we cut the area of a triangle is really half of a rectangle. So if we cut that rectangle in half, but then we put those two halves back together again, then that's going to give us that full rectangle of a 3 by 4 rectangle. So we get 12 right here. And so then 84 plus 12 gives us 96. So we've got 96 meters squared for our total surface area for this one. Now, when finding surface area, either lateral or total surface area, you may not use these formulas at all. You may just want to have the net of the 3D shape and then find each area of each individual piece and then add it all together at the end. So one way that we could do that is we've got our net here. Let's start with the rectangles. This 7 by 5 rectangle would be 7 times 5, which is 35 meters squared. And then 7 times 3 is 21 meters squared. And then 7 times 4 is 28 meters squared. And then our triangles, 4 times 3 is 12, cut in half is 6. And that means this one is also 6. And then when we add all of that up, so 35 plus 28 plus 21 plus 6, what do we get? So let's see, 5 plus 8 is 13, plus 1 more is 14, plus 6 is 20, plus another 6 is 26. And then all of our 2's added together, 2, 4, 6, plus the 3 would give us 9. So we still get 96 meters squared for our total surface area. So there are other ways of finding surface area besides these formulas. I like to show these formulas because a lot of the students that I work with are in the US. We have state testing, and there are these formula sheets that students are given when doing state tests, and they're written out like this. But I really want that connection to what these formulas mean. I really want to go over those connections in this video to make sure that we know what each of those letters mean in those formulas, because a formula is pretty useless if you don't know what each of those letters are supposed to represent. Okay, and finally, we're going to talk about the volume of this same triangular prism. This is the same one as what we worked on before with our surface area. So the volume formula for a prism is V equals BH. Again, seemingly very simple, but what does that capital B mean? That's usually the question that most students have. The capital B still in this formula means the area of the base. And since this is a triangular prism, the base is that triangle. So it doesn't matter if you use this triangle or this triangle, they will be the same triangle, the same size, same shape. So again, let's talk about the area formula for our triangle, 1/2 base times height. So I'm just going to actually rewrite this 1/2 base times height. And then we have the height of the prism. So this again is an area where it can get very confusing because what does this H mean and what does this H mean? They're both lowercase h's, so they should mean the same thing, but they don't. So when we're talking about capital B, we're talking about the area of our two-dimensional shape, the triangle. So let's start there. So volume equals 1/2. Base of the triangle is 3. Height of the triangle is 4. So we're going to multiply all of that. And then when we're going back to our three-dimensional volume formula, the height is the height of the three-dimensional figure. So how far apart are those triangles? What is the distance between those two triangular bases? That is 7. Okay, so this really just takes a lot of practice. So I encourage all of my students to practice this as much as possible so that they can identify which numbers they're using and where. Notice that we didn't use the 5 in this formula at all. All right, so volume equals 3 times 4 is 12. And then 1/2 of that is 6. And then we're multiplying that times 7. So 6 times 7 is 42. And again, because this is volume, we're using meters cubed as our units. Coming up next, I have a video on the volume and surface area of cylinders, which cylinders are just a prism, but with a circular base. So we give them a special name called cylinders. But that's what's coming up next. So check out the description. I will have links to that and other videos below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe and leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought of this video. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.